Thanks for joining us for this Monday's press briefing. Today, Orange County Mayor Jerry O. Demings will discuss our goals for the week, important information on testing sites, and he will report on the work of the strike teams. The mayor will also deliver an important announcement on help for small and home-based businesses and help for our families here in Orange County. From the Florida Department of Health here in Orange County, Dr. Raul Pino is here with important updates on COVID-19 data that is trending here in Orange County. We start this press event with Mayor Demings. Mayor?
All right, good afternoon to all of you. Hopefully you had a great weekend. Thank you, Dr. Williamson, for kicking us off today. I want to just remind you, this is the 79th press briefing that we've had in the last 7 months regarding COVID-19. And we are 15 days away from that big day that's coming up, November the 3rd. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how voting in person and the relationship with the pandemic appear to be working here within Orange County. Orange County has 20 early voting locations, including the Amway Arena. On the screen behind me, a list of various locations that individuals are able to go vote at here within our county. And I had a conversation probably about 20 minutes ago with the supervisor of elections. And he allowed me to take a peek behind the curtain of what's happening with voter turnout here within Orange County. What he shared with me was that at this point, at least as of a little after 4 p.m., 137,146 Orange County voters had cast a ballot, which represents about 16% of our electorate here within Orange County. He shared with me that 10,463 people at that time had voted in person. 126,683 vote by mail ballots have been received. If you care to know how the party votes look at this point, he said that 5,944 Democrats have voted, to 2,650 Republicans, and 1,868 others, to include the no party affiliation and I'm going to say the minor parties, have voted. The Democrats outvoting the Republicans significantly. He said that of that 137,000+ that have voted, 69,756 Democrats have voted, to 27,388 Republicans have voted, and those no party affiliates or minor parties had outvoted the Republicans here within our county. 29,539 Republicans have voted. Why am I bringing all this up? I think it's relevant because what it clearly shows is that here within Orange County, our residents are more prone to vote by mail and not in person at this time. And that probably is directly related to the fact that we're living with a pandemic and people are not yet at that point in terms of their confidence going out and interacting in public. So this is something that we'll monitor as this goes forward. The supervisor assured me that it is safe to go to the various polling places and vote. They have put in place a number of sanitary protocols to ensure that you can vote without significant concern of contracting the novel coronavirus at any of the locations here within Orange County. According to the State Division of Elections website, so far, 2.5 million vote-by-mail ballots have been cast for this November election statewide. And there are 3.2 million ballots that have yet to be returned. In other words, they sent ballots out to individuals who have requested vote by mail and they have not been returned at this point. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of a glimpse into what is happening with voting here within our county. And as I said, it makes it relevant regarding the pandemic that we give you a briefing about at least several times a week. I want to go forward and talk to you a little bit about our goals for the week. Each Monday I try to tell you what we're trying to accomplish. We will continue to offer crisis assistance to individuals and families in Orange County. That's a priority for us, to help fill that gap of need in our community as a result of the downturn in the economy and the pandemic. We will continue to offer crisis assistance to businesses, including home-based businesses, and I'll talk more about that in just a few moments. And we will continue to offer free COVID-19 testing here within Orange County. Some communities across America are letting up on the testing that's being done, but we intend to stay the course and continue to do what we can to work in partnership with the state and our private partners to continue offering free testing. As for the total number of COVID-19 cases in Orange County, there are now a reported 43,621 cases. That is an increase of 132 cases since just yesterday and 577 new cases since our last briefing this past Friday. There have been 531 individuals who died as a result of the virus. Now, I realize that the slide behind me may say 534, but Dr. Pino tells me that they've done some reconciliation of the numbers, and perhaps he will share more with you about how we got to 531 deaths. Again, never thought we would see that many people who actually died of the virus in our community. So we acknowledge those families who have lost a loved one. We're thankful that it is not worse than what it is in our community. Since we last updated you, that's an addition of 3 deaths, I believe, since Friday. Our 2-week positivity average has risen from 5.0% on Friday to 5.3% today. So slight increase. We're still hovering around that 5% number. So I think it's still not a bad number, but we monitor these numbers on a day-to-day basis, and so it's slightly up. I want to note that on October the 5th, the 2-week positivity rate was 4.4%. And today, we have reported that it is 5.3%. This week, Orange County Health Services will continue to offer free COVID-19 testing on Wednesday and Thursday at Barnett Park from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Again, that's free testing at Barnett Park. Appointments can be booked by going to our website at ocfl.net/Barnett Park, and this is for anyone 12 years of age and older. In addition, the state regional drive-through testing facility at the Orange County Convention Center has now transitioned and offering only rapid antigen testing. You can get your results in about 15 minutes. Online appointments are encouraged for that location. They have made a change there, and now they are requesting that individuals produce their health insurance cards when they get tested there at the facility. That's a change. More than likely, the state is trying to determine at some point if individuals are covered by health insurance, the state will look to get reimbursed for the testing that they're doing. Otherwise, why would they ask for your health insurance card? So I think this is a goal of the state to eventually look to have insurance companies perhaps pay their fair share of the testing costs throughout the state of Florida. Let me talk a little bit about our CARES Act funding for small businesses. To date, Orange County has provided nearly $60 million in funding to help 6,800 small businesses or so. These are small businesses with 100 or fewer employees, and this is where we were offering the $10,000 grant. 67% of those businesses have been minority or women-owned businesses. Then we have the micro grant program, where we have been assisting home-based or sole proprietorship types of businesses with micro grants of up to $3,000. We're continuing to make dollars available through both programs. You may recall that we announced this past Friday that this morning at 9 a.m. we would reopen the Orange Cares for Small Business portal for a second time. Remember, a week ago, we opened the portal for 10,000 small businesses. And of the 10,000 businesses that entered the portal, 6,000 completed the application, meaning they provided all of the information that was needed. 2,500 of those have been processed for payment. If you're in Orange County small business, you were able to re-enter the portal this morning. We had an additional $7 million that was we were making available. We believe that that would assist 700 brick and mortar businesses. For the home-based businesses, we believe that the additional $650,000 to $700,000 that was being made available through the micro grant program will be able to assist additional home-based businesses. Again, those businesses can receive up to $3,000 in micro grants. A total of 235 additional businesses applied for the funding this morning, and our web traffic was over 2,500. Just as a reminder, we also announced that this coming Saturday, October the 24th, we would reopen the CARES portal for individuals and families to apply for $1,000 grants. We are opening up the portal on Saturday for residents of Orange County who may have had some difficulty getting into the portal during the weekdays because of other commitments, et cetera. The portal will be open this coming Saturday to 15,000 potential applicants. That will be the capacity. 15,000 people will be allowed to enter. This is being done to ensure that our team can process all applications. For those who have applied and received a confirmation number on October the 12th, this past Monday, a week ago, we ask that you allow up to 3 weeks for the team to provide you a status update on your application. It doesn't mean it will take 3 weeks, but we ask that you allow up to that. Some people were here in a shorter period of time. If you have not heard about the status update after the 3 weeks, then we would encourage you to just simply dial 311, the county information number. I also encourage anyone interested to go to ocfl.net/orangecares and read the frequently asked questions to get familiar with the guidelines. I'm going to give you an update on our compliance or strike teams. They're well into their second month now of offering coronavirus compliance assistance to Orange County businesses. the teams conducted unannounced inspections. So far, over 3,600, to be precise, 3,620 different business sites have been visited. There have been 448 follow-up inspections. That means that businesses who were either found to be non-compliant or in some cases just to ensure that people continue to honor the mandates that are in place and comply with the CDC guidelines. We have continued to send our strike teams out. This past weekend, the teams were visiting businesses along the Goldenrod and Curry Ford Road locations. They found the majority of business owners receptive and in compliance. That's good news. Our businesses are continuing to comply. In addition to smaller businesses, the teams will be once again revisiting the major theme parks unannounced very soon. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Raul Pino for an update as well.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon. Before we go into the COVID-19 numbers, I would like to inform you that last Saturday we have our first flu pod for this season. It was done at Freedom High School. It was extremely successful. We provide 1,121 vaccinations for flu. Just to give you an idea, we have never even reached 500 in any pod that we have done in the past. So this was quite an event. We also are going to have one on November 7th at Jones High School here at AO1 Rio Grande, and Saturday, November 14th at the Colonial Promenade Mall at 4308 East Colonial Drive. And we will have plenty of vaccines to give out for free. As the mayor mentioned, we have 43,621 cases, cumulative, that is, and that is giving us a cumulative percent positivity rate of 11.41. Our recovery rate is continuing at 95%, which is not bad, but a little bit tad down from 96 that it was at the beginning of last week. The mayor also mentioned that we have a discrepancy with the data there that says 534. So through our data cleaning process, we identified 3 cases that are residents of Osceola, Hillsborough, and Seminole County. So those were deferred to those lists, and it will be reflected there tomorrow, but just in case that you notice the discrepancy. The age range in the 4 deaths that we have was from 78 to 91, 1 female and 3 male, and all of those deaths occurred before last Friday when we talked to you last. Yesterday, for rates, we received 132 new cases were reported to the state yesterday, out of also reported yesterday 1,903 negative tests, and that gave us a 6.4.9%, although it's higher than the prior day or the entire week. Also, Mondays are not a good day for data because there is less testing in the weekend. But the interesting part about this data, and we continue to mention these, is that 50% of all cases yesterday were between 15 and 34. And let me see if I can explain this well. In the last 14 days, all 15 to 34 age cases, when you put it all together, and then you run an analysis just on that group, 75 of all cases are 18 to 20 years old, meaning it is in the older segment of this group, which is college-age students. Doesn't mean that they go to college. It means that it's college age. So we want to continue to alert our community about the need to protect young individuals, not just to protect them although they seems to be doing better than the general population at large, but also to protect those who are older with pre-existing conditions that are living in multifamily units. And just to give you an idea, we continue to do well. The data continues to perform very well. And although there has been a little bit of a change in the data that we just mentioned to you, last week, our positive rate was 5.23%. That was week 42. The prior week, the entire week, was 5.5. And we have a reduction last week of a negative growth of about 11%. So we continue to perform. And as the mayor mentioned, as long as we hover around the 5%, it is a number of cases that we can handle, that we can complete every day before the working hours end, all the contact tracing and everything that we have to do in those plus 100 cases with the resources that we have right now. With that, any question, Mayor?
All right, we'll open it up to any questions that you may have from the audience. Ms. Lauren Seabrook is back. She may have a different last name. She got married. But.
Still that on there. Lauren Seabrook, Channel 9. My question's for Dr. Pino. It's been about, I guess, a month or maybe a little bit more since the bars opened. I was wondering, when you talk about that college age group, are you seeing issues with the bars or any other specific businesses or house parties? What's your staff seeing?
All of the above. We haven't seen a major outbreak in the bars. We have seen cases related to a few places, not just bar, around the county, and we provide the strike team with that list. So a few places that have constantly been mentioned by others when we do the interviews. So we want to double check. It's not a large number of cases, like a dripping here, dripping there, but we want to check. It could be just a coincidence. With regard to the bars, there has been a few where we have been identified, a few cases linked to it. The issue that we are having with the ability to pinpoint one or another one is that the people that we have talked to are bar hoppers. So they go to many bars in the same night. So it will be unfair to the business in that sense to mention one and not the other one, because they really, the students, or the people in this age, not the students, people in this age go through this. But there has been activity, an increased activity around the UCF campus in those bars in that area. So we have been watching and communicating with them. And if anything happens, we probably will let you know. But the biggest outbreak that we have right now is at an assisted living facility. I will know more tomorrow as we are meeting in the morning. But last week, they have over 50 cases overall, accumulative, during the last 3 months. And we were there, did test twice. I don't know the results yet for last Friday. That's what I will have tomorrow. But we went back last Friday and tested everyone who was prior negative. So to see if new cases has come up. I will know the results of that tomorrow. That's Courtyards Orlando here in downtown, and we are working with the administration there to try to curtail this outbreak. Courtyards.
This is Steve Hudak from the Orlando Sentinel. This is for Dr. Pino, too. I was wondering, Dr. Pino, if you could go into a little more detail about the 75%, did you say 18 to 20-year-olds?
So when you take in the last 14 days, everyone who is 15 to 34, and you do a separate analysis, in that group, 78% of all cases are between 75 of all cases are between 18 to 28. So the older segment of the population who are in college age, if you want it. So we can run more analytics if you would like to know gender, specific age groups, and everything else that we can run, even where do they live and everything.
Let me follow up with that then just for a second. The outcomes for had any, because most of the deaths we hear about are older folks. What about hospitalizations or anything like that?
I mean, we can look into it. Our hospitalizations are very low right now across the region, not just Orange, but Central Florida in general. And yes, they do perform. The health outcomes are much better. And for what I recall, in the 20 age group, we only have 2 deceased during the entire pandemic. I believe one was 21 and the other one was 26. But we could double check if we have any other in that age group.
This question was texted in for you, Mayor Demings, from Ryan Lynch with the Orlando Business Journal. Mayor Demings, how long does the county expect the Reopen Small Business Grant Portal to stay open?
We're going to keep it open until it appears that the demand will exceed the funding that we have available. We'll see. We reassess on a weekly basis where we are, and if it looks like we are going to leave some money on the table, remember that the federal government gave us a fairly hard deadline. We have to expend these dollars by December the 30th of this year. And so as we move forward, we don't intend to send any money back to the federal government. We will constantly reassess and try to reallocate the dollars to where the need is in our community. And Ryan is very predictable. He always asks the last question, and Lauren Seabrook always asks the first question of Dr. Pino, and he always asks me the last question. So it seems like 79 different of these media press events. That seems to, some things never change here in Orange County. But, all right, we do have Commissioners Myra Uribe and Commissioner Gomez Cordero who are here. If there's any Spanish-speaking media here, they certainly are available to answer any of the tougher questions today. All right, if that's it, thank you all for being here. This will conclude this press event.